So I managed to narrow Orlando down to 2 areas, and somehow that makes it even harder. One of them feels like the life I really want to live. The other just makes more sense. If you're not familiar, I started this whole journey basically being you, the relocator looking to move to Central Florida, and using my principles, I narrowed it down to 4 areas. From then, I narrowed it down again using principles to get me down to 2. Taking it back all the way to episode 1, my budget throughout all of this was $650,000 to $700,000. The Winter Park home I found was $725,000. So yeah. I guess we're off to a great start. So the decision is not as simplistic as just which home I like the most, which is probably going to be the case for you as well. It's, do I stretch for this lifestyle that I want, or stay within what makes more sense? So yeah, let's explore that and learn some amazing tips along the way.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars.
Enough of that cinematic stuff. Let's do a quick tour. Kitchen is the star of the show. I absolutely love the finishes that they have in here. Living room is spacious, not the largest, but more than enough for me and any future family. Really good sized primary bedroom, although the closets aren't the biggest, but could surely work. This was something I really wanted. Big backyard. It does have a pool, not the biggest deal for me, but nice to have. But it goes beyond the finishes. This home is older, and so if you're thinking about buying in an area like this, you have to consider the big things, the HVAC, the plumbing, the situation. Is it polybutylene or did they update it? Thankfully, this particular home had a lot of that stuff done, but there were definitely some things you would see yourself upgrading after moving in that were still original. Overall, a little bit of a compromise on space, but beautiful nonetheless. All right, so tour done. Initial thoughts. I love how they've done the kitchen in here. The living area looks really nice. I didn't even realize Winter Park Pines was that close by, which is a golf course, which for me, that's huge. However, from my experience, this is me cheating a little bit because I'm a real estate agent. I'm aware of certain things that I would have to do after buying this house to kind of keep it in line with all the amazing upgrades done here in the kitchen. And given that I'm already over my budget looking here, it's a real dilemma. I love Winter Park. The vibe of driving into the neighborhood was really nice. But of course, the main question is, like a lot of people are going to be dealing with, do I recalibrate fiscally to live this life, live the Winter Park lifestyle? Logically, the answer is there, if you could say, but buying a home is an emotional thing. Lots to think about. We'll see. All right. Kind of crazy because as soon as I came in, I already knew the floor plan. This is definitely the Aspen by Lennar. I've sold this one before. Very cool. Tour time. Feel like that's our new jingle now. All right, so as soon as you come in, you have a straight shot out to the living area. Bedroom 1, nice size. I'm glad I have a full bedroom now as a 4th. Nice size bathroom, another bedroom right by that bathroom. Off the garage, you have this nice little drop zone, bathroom, and another bedroom tucked away for like guests and stuff. Huge living space, which is awesome. I do have some water views, definitely an unexpected bonus, if you will. Nice size kitchen area. I mean, there's tons of countertop space here, and they have a huge pantry as well. Primary bedroom, definitely bigger. Nice bathroom. Got a garden tub in this one, dual sink, standing shower, huge walkway of a closet that I have, laundry room, and the star of the show for sure is definitely the backyard, which I am so excited to have you see once I gain 3 brain cells and open up the door. I'm already loving how much backyard space for the family, for all the events that we'll have. Off the water view, and funny enough, I could hear, it's so nostalgic, but hearing the ice cream truck coming through the neighborhood was so cool. All right, so initial thoughts. This home is actually under the budget, under my $650 to $700K budget, which is insane for how much more space I get. And that's the immediate reaction is like, everything feels easier here. Now, does it give me the same feeling as the Winter Park home? Absolutely not. I mean, it's white and gray all day in here. As you can see, again, it's that battle of like, do I want to go the Winter Park lifestyle or stick to the more responsible grown-up adult decision? So the 2 paths now are really clear. One is I go smaller, I go more updated, definitely more in line with how I'd like the interior of my home to look. The lifestyle is the one I prefer, but I'm over budget. I'm definitely sacrificing in that part of my life. And I know that shows up in many different ways for people. That could be less vacations per year based on this decision, or it could mean less eating out, less date nights. You're hit on your savings if you're gonna bring the extra money to compensate on the down payment for that increased price. Or I get the house I want spec-wise, structurally, floor plan-wise. I don't have all the nice upgrades. The area is still lovely, but just not as lovely as I'd like, and I stay within the budget. So how do you actually navigate that? Well, I'm gonna lean on advice I would tell my own clients, and hopefully this helps you as well. When I first have consultations, what I'm really trying to figure out is your core convictions. It seems like I use core a lot, core for core convictions, but very true. One of those core convictions would be your lifestyle, and going back to episode 1, both of these areas actually hit my lifestyle requirements. I just like the flavor of Winter Park more. I can like ice cream, but I definitely got a preference for chocolate. A next core conviction borrowed from the core 4, commute. If you're like me, self-employed, working for yourself remote, this again provides the flexibility to be within both areas. For you, it might be different. So that's where you'll have to do some give and take there. And then 4, the budget. What is our price range? What are we pre-approved for? Or what are we willing to pay cash? Clearly here, at least in this case, one fits the bill, one doesn't. And it's gonna be different for everybody, and certainly do what's best for your situation. But as for me, I really came into this series feeling like I already was gonna go one way, that way being Winter Park. But I'm actually gonna be choosing Horizon West. And not because it's totally better than Winter Park or Winter Park's totally worse. It's just what I value now is those core convictions, being within my budget and still gaining all the other things that I could ever hope for. And hey, Winter Park's a 30-ish minute drive, so it's not gonna be that bad. I'm not gonna miss Park Ave too much. And that's really what this process is all about. It's not always finding the absolute best area, it's finding the one that fits you best for your current situation, for your future, the things you value. If you're in a stage right now where you're trying to figure out your 2 areas, or your 12, or your 20, I'd absolutely love to partner with you. That's what I do as a real estate agent. So feel free, email me info@orlandowithmario.com, or scan this QR code and take a quiz. Made it specifically for you, so it'll point you in the right direction. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.